what we have here, I skipped one because we've already done one like it. So we're now a gap further in. So we're actually on this one here, right? Draw the next two patterns of the sequence, no bother. So would everybody agree that's a 3 by 3, that's a 4 by 4, and that's a 5 by 5? Everybody agree with that? Now, the deal is that if I do a 5 by 5, let me see, a 5 by 5. So just give me a second, I'm going to need squared paper to do it. Continue. So we're going to draw this, okay? Now, I'm just going to make the squared paper fairly large just so I can draw it a bit better. Okay? Yeah, I know. Now, alright, I'm going to draw the next two patterns of the sequence, no bother. Right? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out a 5 by 5, okay? So, sorry, 6 by 6, is it? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So you're gonna do a 6 by 6, okay? That's the first thing you're gonna do. That's 6 by 6. Now next thing is how much of this is not shaded in. Well, the last one had the middle one, then you have the middle 2. I think this time you're gonna have the middle 4. See what I mean by the middle 4? And you go all the way out to the edge, like so. So all of these ones are shaded in. So these ones are the grey ones, so to speak. Everybody agree with that? And then the outer ones are the inner ones are the white ones. These ones are the grey ones. And so how many white tiles do we have this time? 2 white tiles, 6 white tiles, 12 white tiles, and this is 20 white tiles, okay? Now, next thing I have to do is a 7 by 7, because it says the next two patterns, does it? So we're going to have to do a 7 by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is going to be a 7 by 7. Now, once again, it's exactly as it was last time, isn't it? The top part is untouched. The part of the side is untouched. And that part there. So, this time, we have all these shaded tiles in. Now, what we might do just for ourselves is we might count the amount of grey tiles and white tiles in each one. How many white tiles this time? Lads, how many white tiles this time? 6 by 30. Right? So, 30 whites. Okay. Now we're going to go for the grey tiles. In the first one there is 1, 2, 3, what's a 7? 7 greys. And then the next one there's, what's a 10 greys? And then next after that? Yeah, that's a linear pattern, isn't it? 7, 10, 13, I suppose the next one's 16, and the one after that will be 19. That'll be 16, and that will be 19. And what about the white tiles? Different pattern there, isn't there? There's 2, 6, 12, 20, and 30. This is a quadratic pattern. How do we know it's a quadratic pattern, anybody? Because the second difference will be the same. See the way the second difference is 2? And how do I know the first one's a linear one? Because the first difference is 3. That makes sense, lads? Alright, now I'm going to take that information I just got here. And is everybody happy with the drawings? Alright. So what's the next question it's asking us from here? What? The number of grey tiles. Yeah. Alright, so that's just what we did there, wasn't it? So this is nice and handy for us, alright. So 2, 6, what's the next part? 12. 2, 6, 12, 20 and 30, and 13, 16 and 19. One of them is a quadratic sequence, so the white tiles is the quadratic sequence, yellow is quadratic, and blue is linear. Everybody got that? Quadratic and linear. Show the number of white tiles forms a quadratic pattern. Have I already done that? Where did I do it already? Here, isn't it? And I just lobbed that down here. How does that prove it's a quadratic? How does that prove it's a quadratic sequence? What you write down? Second difference is constants, or difference of the difference is constants. Go with that there. Now we're doing this. All right. What's in part 3 then? Alright, fortunately for us, we have two choices, okay? You can go two ways with these, alright? There's one formula that does this, and there's one formula that does this. And it's more or less given to you already. Alright, when do you use this one? The one circled in red. When it's a linear sequence. Is this a linear sequence? No. Okay? Means you don't use that one. That one is in your tables, while the other one isn't. The other one you have to know off by heart, or in a lot of cases, they give you a version of it. Okay? Now, what's half the second difference, lads? Half the second difference is, that would mean the A value is 1. But they actually already gave you that, didn't they? Is there anything beside the n squared? So they already told you it was 1 anyway, so you didn't even have to do that, okay? So what we'll say is Tn equals n squared plus Bn plus C. Alright. Now, what value is T1? I mean, know what value T1 is in the quadratic sequence. T1 in the quadratic sequence, lads. What is the very first term in the quadratic sequence? What is it? 2. T1 is 2, T2 is 6, T3 is 12. So what happens if I replace all the n's with 1s? What has to happen? What has to happen when I replace all the n's with 1s? What does it have to equal? What is T1? 2. What's 1 squared? And what's 2 minus 1 when you bring it over to your side? So everybody gets E plus C equals 1. What happens when I replace everything with 2? What happens when I replace all the n's with 2's? What does the answer have to be for this question only? Has to be 6. And what is 2 squared? And what's 6 take away 4? So 2b plus c has to equal 2. You go with that? What type of equation is this? Or equations? What are they? No. Two linears makes a simultaneous. What letter would you like to get rid of? Yeah, C is the easier one. So what do we multiply the top one by? Minus. And what you get there? B equals 1, right? If B equals 1, then what's the C value? Because B plus C equals 1. So what's C be? Yeah, C is 0. Oh, sorry, 1 plus, this means C equals 0. So what's your equation then? They said Wn, didn't they? So it's n squared plus 1n. And no C value, isn't it? You're done. Alright, what happens after that then? It just says it wants the value of B and the value of C. Alright, what's after that, Sam? Huh? Alright, didn't ask anything else, did I not? Weak. Can I just do one thing for you, Stan? If you don't mind. I'm going to ask 2 questions. I'm going to add on 2 questions to this. Just prepare you, okay? Give me a second. Okay. Alright. What pattern has 420 white squares? How'd you do that? What pattern has 420 white squares? How'd you do that? Is it T420 or Tn equals 420? Yeah. T420 would be how many white tiles in the 420th pattern? We already wrote out the first 5 patterns, haven't we? So how'd you do Tn equals 420? No, you don't. If you replace n with 420, you're getting T420. That tells you how many tiles are in the 420th pattern. What I'm asking you is, what pattern has 420 white tiles? Okay, so that's the difference. So you see your formula? Put it up here. N squared plus 1n equals 420. Move the 420 to the left, then what happens? Some of you might do the minus b formula. That's okay. Because I designed the question, I know that it's 21 and 20. Is that right? Which number is it? Is it minus 21 or is it plus 20? It's not allowed to be minus 21, is it? Sequences you can't say the minus 10th term. It starts off at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus n values don't exist. So the answer would be the 20th pattern, T20, is 420. Is that right? What would happen if you replaced n with 20? What would happen? If Tn is n squared plus 1n, what would happen if you got T20? What would you do? You'd replace 20 with n, and your answer would be 420. I was asking you, there's 420 tiles. What pattern has 420 tiles? The answer is the 20th one. If we went back to the very beginning of our question, and we were right down, we're on the 5th pattern right here. Oh, so not the 5th pattern, the 3rd pattern. We'd have to go all the way up to the 20th pattern to get 420 white tiles. That makes sense? Alright. Last one of the day. Sorry to push the envelope hard, but look, we got it. Alright? What does she do every day? Okay? Is anybody else confused by the language in this one? But then it's not an arithmetic sequence, is it? Shut up, Fiona. Ooh. I just go, lads. I thought you were getting the total. You know, like I thought I had to add on 255 and get 505. That's not what you're doing here, Dermot. What you're doing is you're adding on a fiver every month. So in month 2, you're going to add on 255. In month 3, it's 260. Month 4, it's 265. Month 12. Alright. You can count it up if you want. That'd probably be the safe method for it, would it? Alright. Excuse me. Let's make a general formula here. The general formula might be the easier way to do this, Sam. What's Tn? It's an arithmetic sequence, isn't it? Yeah, just give me 1 sec, Sam. What's the starting off term? Starting off term is 250. What's the D value? 5. Multiply it in and you get 5n minus 5. So it's actually actually €245 plus 5N. You have to know, it's in the tables and you have to know how to use it. And it's only for linears. So Sam, if I want 12 months, what do we replace N with? I look for T12. Right, and how do I do T12? 245 plus 5 times 12, which is 305. If I want T24, what do I do? Replace N with 24. So 245. I like picking mock questions because they're more difficult and they prepare you for easier questions. 365? You could also just keep adding on 5 and count it in your calculator. Like, I have seen people who will do this. Like, literally, 250, alright, that's 1, and they'll do this. Alright, you're 2, there you go. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Alright? You can do it that way if you want. But imagine if it's a really big number, you're going to just count them and stress at the exam. Now, I wish. Like, what's our formula then? We already have it, don't we? 245 plus 5N. Is that cool, you guys? Now, I'm pretty sure we're going to break out an SN here, are we? Find which month it contributes up to 400. Question, is it T 400 or TN equals 400? TN equals 400. It's 400 money. So it's going to be 245 plus 5N equals 400. And then 5N will equal 155 divided by 5. And you get it's week 31. 31 weeks in the future, she'll be paying €400 a week into the contribution. Does that make sense? Finally, now, here's the one we haven't done in a long time, and I need you to zone in here. This is the big one where we need you to zone in, okay? There's something that's called SN formula, okay? Now let me explain what the SN formula is. S1 is 250. Everybody agree with that? What's S2, can anybody tell me? Add the first 2 weeks together and what do you get? 505. Anybody tell me what S3 is? Add the first 3 weeks together. It's how much you contributed in total. Does that make sense? Now, there is a formula for SN, Oscar. SN is also in your notes. It's N over 2 into 2A plus N minus 1 times D. The D value is 5. What's the A value? 250. Now we're going to do the SN value here. So it's going to be N over 2 into, what's 2 times A? 2 times 250? Okay. What's 5 times N minus 1? 5N minus 1. Okay. And long behold, it's N over 2 into 495 plus 5N. You could also write it as 495N plus 5N squared over 2. Bear with me 1 second, lads, really quickly. If I put this into my table function, what should it tell me? What should it tell me if I put it into my table function? This is a very important question. Shows it for a reason. Now look at this. Alright guys. Lads, look at this please. Ready? Look at what happens in the formula. Week 1 I have €250. Week 2 I have €505. Week 3 I have €765. After 4 weeks I have €1,030. Is this the correct formula? Yes. It is. Now wait. Fiona is guaranteed a fixed return. Actually, that's actually not so bad. Alright, we can leave it here and we'll try and finish it out tomorrow. Oh!